All right, we got our color, we got our type, we've got our contrast for our alignment. Now we're going to start talking about repetition and how to make our designs flow in such a way where somebody can follow that map. Again, the color has got them emotionally connected. The typography has reminded them of who you are as a company and created that foundation to remember who you are and what you're about. We've now got the contrast so that they can read things and it's very legible to them. Alignment has created a clean system for them to follow. And now we want to create a repetition so that they can expect what's to come next. Again, obviously there may be an example where you need something where it is not expected. You're giving them a more unexpected design. A very famous designer, his last name is Carson, who creates designs for skateboarding and things like that and surfing, and the culture that he's in is a little more, they don't want the expected. They want it to be unexpected, and they'll create things that are a little more outside the box. But most of the time, you want your customer to be able to quickly understand and quickly extrapolate the information so that they can make a choice and they can make a decision. And so consistency and repetition is important so they know what step to take next. And so when we're talking about repetition, all we're simply talking about is the process of repeating elements throughout a design or several pieces of design to get a unified look so that somebody knows what to do next. For example, as you've probably followed already as we've gone through these lessons together, we have a simple 7-color, 7-box series that you keep seeing come across. Right now, we're in that create section, that design section. And so in the bottom corner, you see that light bulb with the green box around it. And in each element now, there's been a different color and a different icon, but the icons are about the same size. The boxes are all the same size. The colors are in a consistent color wheel, and we've kept that repetitive pattern so that you know what's to come next. If you're paying attention along the way, you know right now we're in the third of 7 components. But that's created a repetitive pattern where when I go to the next slide, there's an expectation of what's going to be there. There's an expectation that you know when we get there, we're going to be going down a system of information, and you can have an idea of where we're going next. We see it happen all the time in design, that repetitiveness that allows people to know what's to come next. The most obvious way to do this is to create some type of an outline. The advertisement you see on the screen right now, there's a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, a 6, and a 7. The typefaces in the paragraph are all the same size. The headline types are all the same size. The things that are to come next are expected, and there's been a repetition that's taken place to get you ready for what's to come down the line along the way here. When we don't create repetition, we lose people. We give them that next step in the pattern and it allows them to know what to do next. But when we don't allow that repetition to exist, they just simply end up confused. They end up not knowing what step we want them to take next. Remember, you're creating the journey for them. You don't want them rabbit trailing off into their own story. You don't want them going down a path into something that it doesn't relate to your company and what you're trying to provide for them. You want them to stay with you. And when we design with repetition that shows them the next step, it's very simple for them to say, okay, I've completed this part of the story and now I'm going to the next. And I know that this is what's going to happen next, and so I'm going to go there. It's very much a lot like when you think of building a house or putting together a structure or whatever. They give you instructions. And those instructions are very explicit. Here's step 1, and here's step 2, and here's step 3. We need our design to do the same thing for them. We don't have to use numbers. We can use colored boxes. We can use bullet points. We can use pictures. We can use anything. But we need to have a design that is repetitive enough that they know where we're going, that there's an expectation, and then we're going to fulfill that expectation. We're going to keep them on the path all along the way. We've created something that's beautiful, we've created something that's functional, and now we're just going to keep repeating those steps over and over again.